From the depths of internet, we come to you. Bad news, good news, dead horse beating news. Even no news will stop us. We'll make news. Even if it is in dumpster fire. We bring you integrity, except when it's EA, Ubisoft, Bethesda, Star Citizen, practically all of them. Movies, shows, and other industry bullshit. This totally is not a waste of time, but it sure is. Space Waste News!
Hello and welcome to Space Waste News for August 14th, 2021. I'm the pilot. That over there is Yemix, and we are here to give you news about things, and most certainly not just banter back and forth like, you know, two guys across the planet from each other. One of those things. Anyway, today we are going to be talking about the Duke Nukem prequel leaked Battlefield 4
we have
gameplay.
plenty of topics, ladies and gents. There's some really interesting and weird topics today.
I want to talk about Bird Person. I really do. And how
okay, go.
everybody is getting this
Though before, literally as the stream was starting, Skidder, thanks for, you know, niceties and all that generous stuff. I always try to, you know, say thanks to all the folks at the end, and so on and so forth. So that's why the sound effects are off and so on and so forth. Anyways, carrying on then, the news, yes.
I wanted to, okay, real quick, heavy spoilers for the last episode of Rick and Morty. If you haven't seen it, then I don't know.
Yeah, you're basically like kind of being a piece of shit because people don't, you know, follow up right away. So you're literally ruining them.
It's been a week.
Okay.
It's been a week.
That's
an
excuse now. Okay then.
72 hours is the norm for the internet. That's being gracious and saying that, you know, okay, you've had 3 days to watch whatever it is we're talking about. If you see it at this point, that's on you. All right. No, it's not the series finale. That's not the last episode. Okay, so listen. Last episode deals with Rick going and saving Bird Person's life, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And every single breakdown show goes through the same notes that, Rick is just trying to save his friend and this and that. And they're making all kinds of connections that completely miss the point. The man was in love with Bird Person. He was actually in love with him. He is romantically in love with Bird Person, and he got rejected at the end of was it Blood Gulch or Blood Ridge. Okay, that's why he hates that day. That's why he didn't want to go to the wedding. That's why he was always upset that he was marrying Tammy at all. That's why he was so disgusted. And when he's at the bar at that wedding, when they turn around and say, "Go, come on, man, it's Bird Person's big day," and he goes, "Bird Person's big day was at Blood Ridge." Because that's the last moment that he remembers being in love with his friend. And that he wanted to be romantically involved with him. And I think it's a huge freaking, thing. And nobody seems to get it or give a shit. What are your thoughts? Am I completely reading into this or not?
I read it more like, maybe not the romantical love, but really just sort of a deep attachment to a person, you know, a best friend or, you know, something like that, as a matter of fact. So that was my read.
So why is
it was more of a, you know, obvious, the surface level thing. I didn't really, you know, delve too deep into it because, frankly speaking, delving too deep into Rick and Morty, you're gonna get an aneurysm there.
And if it was just a friendship thing, why was he so fucking bitter about it?
Again, the same thing can be applied to a best friend, isn't it?
Oh, so what's he upset about? At the end there, he says, he goes, "Come with me. We can jump to realities. We can be together and, you know, do this and this and that." And he goes, Rick, our relationship. He goes, "I never used that word. because he doesn't want to admit it to himself because he's fucking Rick. And he's already canonically bisexual. I mean, he's hooked up with fucking planets, for God's sake. I don't think anybody really cares about, anything else at that point. Hive minds, even. Obviously it's not an issue. So I think he wanted to have a romantic relationship with Bird Person, and Bird Person shut him down, and that's why he was bitter about it the entire time.
Well, okay, regardless of what it was meant to be or what not else, the bottom line is it was a deep connection to that one person tried to express and just wasn't resuscitated for.
Reciprocated.
Reciprocate. There we go.
Resuscitated.
Anyways, reciprocated. Right. So there you go. Yeah. So basically, it was just that denial. So regardless which it was literally just the moment of being well, not being returned the same input you've given, sort of.
I totally get that.
So that's
I really do.
That's the bottom line, regardless how you read into it.
I mean, I guess, yeah. It doesn't make sense to me. I've never had a best friend where I'm like, hey man, you're my best friend, and they turn around and say, you're mine too, but I don't want to go hop off to different worlds to you, and then I hated them for years because of it. And I'm like, oh well, all right, dude.
I kind of know the feeling. I can imagine it at the very least. So. Yeah, there is a chance of that easily. No problem. It always is with, rejection, isn't it?
What's the rejection if they're just friends? Who cares? I don't know, whatever.
It's rejection after, an investment. It's not rather, a kid in a school, asking out a gal, right? That they like or whatnot else. It's after spending time and then after investing time. That's when that rejection kind of hurts. I guess. Mm-hmm.
All right, whatever. We're not gonna get like literally anywhere, and apparently some people are butthurt that we're talking about cartoons because
Rick and Morty has actually touched on the whole relationship. Well, sort of a two-character relationship, status where basically to, let's say, Rick, right? God damn it! Ah! Fuck! Sorry, folks. Damn it!
cartoon you pulled out there.
Right. Hold on. There we go. And we're back. Right. So yeah, just when the live calls, very few people call me, and that's good. And whenever they do, I kind of need to pick up.
I have no idea if my mic was on or not, but
nope,
okay.
Absolutely not.
Oh, good.
Everything.
I was talking to no one.
Yes.
Neat.
Well, anyways.
Moving on.
Right. Returning to the whole topic, right? Rick and Morty, right? Essentially.
No. We can move on. We can move on. Nobody gives.
No. I've finished the thought. Damn it. Right. If I started, I might as well. Right. So in Rick and Morty, Rick in general sort of pushes for the whole idea that nothing matters, and essentially that relationship which one perhaps cherishes or thinks is meaningful, is actually really meaningless. And there's some sort and you can see that sort of the same expression within the faces of the characters, or at least their actions, after being told exactly that, or realizing such thing. As a matter of fact, I think Morty has multiple episodes or moments where basically Rick shatters that sort of a perception of how meaningful let's say
one can be to either him or to Rick himself, and so on and so forth. So
Yeah, but
so
you could
it's-
argue he got that way because of the thing that happened at Blood Ridge.
Yeah, that is that sort of a
You know?
that maybe first, who knows? Honestly, it's up to
Exactly.
writers to showcase. But again, it's not a unique sort of handling. It's more of a sort of a explanation of the character depth, I suppose. But it's not that large or deep or whatnot else. So there you go. All right. Well, there you go. Finished my thought.
I could talk about it for hours. I
right.
literally could, but I know nobody gives a shit. So let's go.
Well, do we have any other topics? Or do I need?
Well,
to
I
pick
picked one. No, you pick one.
Okay, dokie. Give me a moment.
Okay.
Let's see. Just need to.
We're professional here, folks. We swear to God.
Things. All right.
It's not like we're just using this as an excuse to talk to each other once a week.
Let's start with the PSA. So, do you like graphics cards? Do you like the power supplies? And do you like good bundled deals online? Well, guess what? There is one bundled deal right now happening on the internet that literally will make your PC explode. And that is the good old reported issue from Newegg's bundle deal from, let's see, what was the graphics card that they sold? 3060? I think it was some 3000 series graphics card with a power supply from Gigabyte. Now, as Gamers Nexus has tested multiple times and actually reported, about 50% of the power supplies that were included in such a bundle, in fact, failed at around 60% load. Imagine that. So it's a pretty interesting shit show, and let's see. I think Gigabyte has already come out making a statement about it. Let me check real quick. Let's see. Right, so we are made aware by third parties of concerns regarding potential issues of the GP whatever power supply. Tripping at high wattages when tested via the DC electronic load equipment for extended lengths of time, repeatedly close to 120 to 150, blah blah blah, some stuff. Okay, the level of extended testing could severely reduce the lifespan of product, blah blah blah. Okay, so granted. Yeah, Gigabyte is saying, well, if you're just stressing it constantly, clearly, yeah, that would make sense. But sorry, but as Gamers Nexus and a few others have already, showcased the testing and so on and so forth, it's actually quite a bit worse than they just trying to seem. Regardless, I have full trust, like I had trust with EVGA to rectify the issue if need be, and so on and so forth. Obviously, Gigabyte is now offering, if I remember correctly, returns and a few other warranty-based stuff. But the funny thing is, with the what was it? The Newegg. There we go. The Newegg's bundle deal that. In case you wanted to send in the power supply for the warranty repair or warranty service, you would have to also send in the graphics card. The whole bundle. So that's quite of a thing. And there's been multiple instances within the retail, where essentially through these bundles, a company, uses whatever leftover stock to sort of sell it off or load it off, and with well, let's say poor quality stuff, oh boy, it can turn into pretty big shit fest. So yeah, and it certainly has now. So be watchful from the Newegg at least right now, and watch for the Gigabyte power supplies at the moment, and honestly, never go for the cheap ones. I mean, I've bought some questionable. I think it was Great Wall. I think it was power supply a while back, and it still runs. Sure, not in my PC.
God,
not in my
dude.
PC though. But Still.
When's the last time you? Okay, whoa. I know the last time that you bought any kind of PC component was the drive that you needed to replace. Yes.
Yes, I actually installed them today. So finally, I got
I
them.
literally,
Yeah.
I literally cannot remember the last time I bought a piece of PC equipment.
Because you don't care.
Everything. Not that I don't care. I used to love building rigs. I haven't been able to build one in a while, long time. But everything's so fucking expensive. It's fucking dumb. The prices are just outrageous.
Yes.
And there's really no point. Yeah. So I mean, I don't
point in
really
building
give
PCs.
a shit.
I'm not sure about that though, but okay.
No. There's always a point in building PCs, but there's no point in building one right now because the prices are fucking terrible.
And the question is, how long will those prices stay up? That's the thing. If you need a PC, you need a PC. There's like it or not. Sure, used market is recommended definitely, and then you can always salvage something, scrap together something. True, but yeah, I mean, if you're hoping for the prices to return to normal, no.
I mean, they kind of already are.
Oh,
they kind of already are.
They are falling
hold on.
in some places, but not fully. It's still going to be expensive for a few years.
I mean, hold on. I literally did this for my brother yesterday. He wanted to build a new VR rig, and I sat on PC part picker and built him something. It ended up costing like $4,900. Anyway, but the most expensive pieces were the graphics card and the processor.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay? Yeah, and but as I was going through, I thought they were just outrageous prices. But surprisingly, the hard drives, one solid state and one regular, were shockingly cheap.
They're about the normal price. They are about the normal price. Yeah,
$50 for a 2 terabyte drive is like 2016 levels of pricing, and that's good.
Or if it's I wouldn't recommend buying a spinning Rust, used. But still, if you really want to, I suppose, for some game libraries and what else, yeah, sure. But yeah, overall, I'd say the memory-wise, it is just fine. RAM is a bit higher, I say right now. But it's not that far from the norm or MSRP when it launched, right? Graphics cards are by far the most overpriced things still to this day, and CPUs. The funny thing is, for my VR rig, right? I literally a couple of months ago did look through the CPU listings and so on and so forth, and what I ended up picking up was 3500X Ryzen. Right, that's an OEM part that sometimes you can buy on market or what else. So yeah, that worked, and I picked it up for about 150 euros. So that translates to 180. I think so, 180 or so American dollars. So relatively MSRP-ish, even though it's not the sold part technically. It's sort of a salvage, or well, not salvage, but really just taken out of OEMs. But well, the point is that depending on what type of CPU you're going for, it might actually be about the same price as MSRP. The ones that are actually overpriced on the CPU part are the ones, well, that everyone needs. The gaming stuff, the good gaming stuff, or the really good server stuff. So if you're going for used CPUs, just fine. The fact of the matter is that motherboards tend to die before CPUs. So there you go. So yeah, try to buy used. You can always find really decent deals, even for graphics cards. It is certainly better to go for a used graphics card, but even those tend to be, again, overpriced as it is. So most what you're gonna get is MSRP, and that's lucky, unless of course you get into in a price pool or whatever, the waiting list to buy for MSRP. So there you go.
All right, let's talk about something that's boring.
Penis.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's your topic. All right, what you got?
You know what? I got nothing that's not boring either, so I'm just gonna go for it. I thought What If was kind of fucking disappointing.
I honestly
I did.
hated it. Oh, I absolutely. The starting was just. Oh, how much more can you ham this up? Oh, I hated the start. And, right. So, the first things first animation, right? Animation wise, it's basically a cell shaded
It's not
3D
terrible.
animation. It's the best cell shaded 3D animation I've seen for a TV show. True.
Yeah.
But it's still a 3D animation, and oh my god, the facial expressions are horrid.
Some of them, yeah.
The thing is, especially on the close-ups, the lips are so stiff. It's just, I hate it. The thing is, literally yesterday evening, let's see. Yeah, after I finished What If the day before, I watched the season finale of The Bad Batch for Star Wars. You know, the 3D animated version. You know, the Clone Wars continuation. You know, that department of Star Wars, and they managed to put in The Bad Batch visually far more technical aspects that are just really interesting to see, both in the lighting and in the animation, especially, even though it is relatively a kid's show, right? And animation in the sort of a sensey or over the top action sometimes to sort of understand what the action is. It's one of the animation principles. You know, you over exaggerate a certain action in order.
Cut to the chase, man.
Yeah. So regardless, that show has more facial expressions than the fucking What If. Can we call it a TV show, animation series?
It's a mini series. Listen, okay. So I'm not gonna hyper focus on lip animation. I'm gonna.
It wasn't the only one, mind you. It wasn't the only one.
You ended up talking about it for 2 minutes, but fine, whatever. I'm gonna focus on the story and what a wonderful, amazing concept What If is, and Uatu and the Watchers, and I absolutely love it. It's my favorite comic book series of all time. Looking at alternate realities, is someone made a stark choice here versus there. Love that concept, and it's absolutely fucking ruined because it doesn't make sense, because these writers were not very good.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Here's the problem.
Yeah.
I have no issue with Peggy staying in the room and therefore eventually becoming Captain Britain, or Captain Carter. Sorry, because Captain Britain becomes a whole other thing on its own, and then going off from there, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I do have a little bit of an issue with Howard creating the first Iron Man suit.
That was just stupid.
That was dumb. I don't like what? No, you're breaking too many rules here. But okay, fine. I can grab happenstance and coincidence. I'll let it go once. That's fine. But then we get to the point of the story where Carter goes and rescues the 107th from capture from the Red Skull. Okay. Why are they captured? The only reason they got captured in Captain America in the original timeline is because Skull had the cube and he was making energy weapons and he needed slave labor. That's why he was capturing enemy troops and using them as slave labor. So if he doesn't have the cube, isn't making energy weapons, why is the 107th captured instead of just obliterated?
They needed to introduce Bucky somehow.
It's bad. It's bad writing.
Well, there you go. Yeah,
it's bad writing.
Yeah. I have
so
nothing else to
looking
say.
forward
Really,
to this,
it's
man.
just bad.
I was so looking forward to this.
But even so, at the start of it, the whole, well, you're a woman and your opinion presence doesn't matter. It just, why do you ham it up so fucking much? It's like just,
exactly.
It's so stupid. Even at the day and age where literally, you had rampant, womanizing and what else.
Sexualism.
There we go. That whole thing.
Misogyny.
There we go. Perfect. Yes. Even back then, right? A fucking admiral or general, whoever the fucking thing is, right? Person who is in a situation, or rather in a position, in a rank that requires them to be relatively, at least, intellectual and at least learned person.
Professional.
That too, right? Would just go complete idiot. Like, hey,
It's
we
like
have
a 4-year-old idea of
we
misogyny.
have this military asset who might not be what I want, but is still very capable. Well, okay, shit's happened. There's no
you're
reversing.
just a woman.
It's like,
Oh.
what are you doing? What is this writing? This is just, it's illogical. It's absolutely illogical. And, well,
Right? I mean,
obviously
like,
stupid.
and I love Bradley Whitford, man. I love that actor.
I just
think
simply
he's
cannot
amazing.
believe those characters that they exist, and of course for the for
Exactly.
the jokes they later on show him, yeah, it was my idea, blah blah blah.
Oh,
The only character that I actually liked was surprisingly Stark, and mostly because he was actually like a cartoon character. But
Yes.
that's it.
yes.
Literally, that's
He
it.
moved like
Just-
that bar scene
Yes,
where
perfect.
he goes and he like puts the box there, and then he goes, oh, I thought we were going for subtle. And he goes, oh, then you're really gonna hate this, and he slams the shield down.
It was
that
awkward,
shit was
but
hysterical.
yeah. That was
That
wonderful.
shit was hysterical though. Great.
Yeah.
But the way they've wrote this misogyny, it's like a 4-year-old's idea of misogyny. It doesn't have to be in your face. Ew, girls bad. Otherwise,
really
it's just
it really feels like
pandering
worse than a
bullshit.
kid's show.
Ugh.
The funny thing is, I do enjoy watching quite a bit of what is it, the kids shows, right? Those that are before the teen age, right? Or geared towards the kids before teenage, right? Those shows often have actually more maturity and interesting storylines than actually teen-based and older audience-geared shows. So when you can't beat, a fucking show that is meant to, teach kids about basics of life, don't be an idiot, be careful and, all that stuff. What kind of a fucking writer are you? Sorry, but
I know.
seriously.
I know. It
Did
was
anyone
bad.
reread that fucking
it was
script?
just bad.
It was stupid.
I wanted it to be so good, man. What a fucking waste of Jeffrey Wright, too. Jeffrey Wright's voice is amazing. And you've given him 4 lines that sounded like they were his like 3rd take.
Oh, hey. He got paid.
Oh. I know. I
So,
know.
yeah.
I'm sad. Just move on to the next thing. What do we got?
Yeah, all right then. Right, so actually on the smaller news, those that are like me and who perhaps cares about little things, Stalker 2 will be on Unreal Engine 5. Now, obviously, the previous games in the Stalker series were running on the X-Ray engine, yes, and that was the in-house engine for the I think it was SCS, well, the developers of Stalker again. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they can accomplish with an out-of-house, well, not out-house, but out-of-the-house engine sort of thing, but there you go. So, and of course, everything from the Unreal Engine, the little things and other little stuff essentially you'll be expecting in the game as well. Most likely ray tracing eventually is going to be coming out for it, because again, what is it, the Unreal Engine 5 will support it. I don't think that it does now. Of course, there will be, all the other things that, Unreal 5 did announce a little while back. So, if you're interested, just go and take a look at the Unreal 5 presentation, and of course later on detailed explanation as to what they included in the engine new. Anyways, after that, as a matter of fact, this week, those that care for Battlefield 42, the gameplay was leaked, apparently, in a video there on the YouTubes. It's floating around, and well, for me at least, it looks like well, more or less the same Battlefield out there. So for me, it's more or less as expected. However, if you're interested in Battlefield 42, well, there's a little bit of leaky stuff floating around, so I might want to go and check it out. Anyways, and let's see what else on the news. Oh god, the Duke Nukem. Or do you want to go in your topics?
I mean, I only got TV shit, and I guess we should bounce around and try to mix it up a little bit.
All right, go for the TV shit.
Okay. As much as What If was disappointing, I fucking love Lower Decks, man. That shit was hysterical. There's a scene in that. There's a scene in the season 2 opener episode, which just aired the other day, where a dude uses godlike powers to shoot at his own head, detach it from his body, make it a giant floating head in the sky, and send it out into space to go bite a spaceship. Who couldn't love that? Who wouldn't love that? It's fucking amazing. I love it. I fucking love it. And
it really
no one can
simply,
convince me otherwise.
Simply sounds like a convoluted visual piece that basically
I
does
will
just
pull
one
it up
thing.
for you. I will. This is important.
Not
I need
interested.
to actually send this to you.
I'll
care
watch
if
it
you're
later. I don't need spoilers. I still haven't
No,
seen.
you're gonna go pull it up and put it up on
Oh,
stream.
Jesus, goddamn fucking Christ!
Yes,
All
goddamn
right,
fucking
well,
Christ.
show me what you got.
There.
God damn it! Oh, god damn it! Okay, here we go. All right, I'll pull up your tweeters. Give me a moment. Yoinks.
He pulled off his own head to make it giant to go bite a spaceship.
Oh, damn it! Ah, stupid thing. Where is the? Here we go. There we go. Well,
Look at
it's a well, it is the quality what it is, but okay.
What did okay. I can't remember his name. Oh, the guy who is that character is voiced by Jerry O'Connell too. If you ever watch Sliders.
Also, Bad
like
Batch
any other show
recommended. Just yeah, go watch Bad Batch.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Still haven't seen Bad Batch. I'm not
I
a big
recommend it.
Star
It's a decent show. It's slightly different from all the 3D based Star Wars stories. It's a decent show. People even die in there, which is unusual for the Clone Wars 3D show based, stuff. Even the Rebels didn't really have anything like that. Oh wait, no, it had a really nice send off for Maul. Yes, there we go.
Girl Nighthawk in the chat. No, MODOK was absolutely terrible. I don't blame you for being completely turned off from like any kind of Marvel show for it. That was bad.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, it's
ridiculous
gotten to a point that it has just run its course. Like any good big shit. It just simply has run its course. You need to take a breather, otherwise you're gonna pull a hemorrhoid, and we don't need another DC.
and Chase, that's true. Fair enough. Hey, you know what? James Gunn still made Suicide Squad the best DC movie. I'm not going to complain.
Suicide Squad or Suicide Squad?
The second Suicide Squad.
The Suicide Squad or Suicide Squad? Which one?
I don't know if I want to. I don't remember which one.
There you go. Come on. That's it.
No, I'm not going to answer. It's a 50-50 right there.
I fucking hate the name of this shit. It's just, it's Suicide Squad, and then it's the Suicide Squad. Fuck you, DC, and your stupid naming. Anyways, carry on. God damn it, DC.
Chase in the chat. Riker, what happened to Riker and TG? Riker is actually on Lower Decks. Jonathan Frakes is a prolific director and producer who's made a shit ton of shows across multiple different series, and he's actually like hysterical. He's on Lower Decks as himself, so you might want to give that a shot too. You muted the term Suicide Squad on Twitter. Sick of it being plastered everywhere. It's not bad. It's actually a decent flick. I enjoyed it.
It would have worked more as a very stylized, cartoonish stuff, when Harley's stuff.
He did.
But that's just a one moment, and everything else is just. Am I supposed to take this seriously, or is this just a?
Oh yeah, well.
Yeah. Again,
Look,
if you
okay,
want to
hold on,
stylize
hold on.
stuff, for example, Deadpool, for example, was
Yes.
the stuff that Suicide Squad probably should have been.
Well, okay, wait, hold on. A big disclaimer here. There is nobody who should be taking that movie seriously at all. The big bad, the big thing that they fight at the end is a giant alien starfish. Okay? That's not a spoiler. That's literally everywhere. It's one of the sales points of the marketing, so whatever. But it's a giant starfish from like old school DC Starro, okay? There is nobody that I would trust to make Starro an actual villain more than James Gunn, and I'm very happy with what he did with it, and I think he did it exceptionally well. So no complaints there.
Really, it wasn't a
not
villain.
bad
It was
movie.
just a simply kaiju. So
Well, it did try to kill everyone and say this, this is mine.
I mean, the
and-
same thing as a human being walking and stomping on ants. I mean, it's nothing personal. Unless you're a psychopath, but anyways, that's a whole different fucking topic. Anyways, moving on then to another topic then, and let's go with I suppose that'll be the last topic, I suppose, for today. Surprisingly quick.
Hold on.
No?
Nighthawk, you could not pay me to watch live action Titans on Netflix. That is a shit show on comparison with every single CW nightmare
Titans?
show that has ruined comic book stories for me. So no, thank you. Yes,
Teen
Titans is a live
Teen
action show.
Titan-
No.
No, wait, what?
She doesn't mean Teen Titans. She means Titans, which is the live action version of the show. That exists. No, you should not watch it.
I remember seeing some clips on in internets everywhere, the image boards.
It has
and so
another
on, so forth.
season.
That they basically have the Supergirl and the effect that basically they, or rather how they filmed the effects and the and general silliness of those particular TV shows. Well, frankly speaking,
No.
Anyways, carrying on to another shitfest, let's talk about Duke Nukem then. Did you know there was supposed
Duke Nukem.
First of all, Duke Nukem for me holds a very special spot in my heart because that was the first actual PC game that I played. Actually, the first video game that I played, I think, aside from the handheld Tetris devices,
Sure.
and stuff like that. So a proper video game, the first proper big video game that I played, and I absolutely loved it. And because of it, I absolutely love the first-person shooter genre. And well, it was that game that I realized that, I'll make my life intertwined with video games, and here I am today. Be that as a developer, some other creator, or well, here we are as the YouTubes and other kind of a personality or whatnot else. Regardless, on 2012, Duke Nukem Forever came out. Right, it was a thing, and apparently there was supposed to be a prequel being in the works, according to the source that literally released the prequel mock-up trailer for the game. I'll put it up. Give me a moment.
This looks terrible.
Remember, it's a 13-year-old thing. First of all, right?
Oh my god!
It's a gem. First of all, it's a mock-up. It's not the actual gameplay because they didn't had they canceled the game. Literally, they canceled the game. Let me just. Oh gods, no! I don't need music. Fucking crap! Oh fucking Jesus Christ! There we go.
How would this have even worked? A lot of these mechanics don't make sense.
I know. So yeah, it's actually, you know what? I'm just gonna so that you can see the source from which it comes. But anyways, so yeah, it's essentially a first of all, it is a cinematic video that is a mock-up of how the game would be playing rather than the coded thing, because this is literally a cinematic, not a game or even a demo of it.
Can you imagine the controls necessary to do that kind of maneuver that he just pulled back there?
The thing is,
What?
this looks like very akin to those on rails shooters. You know, the Rambo thing that came a couple of years ago and was the biggest piece of shit ever. And there was this old arcade game, you know, the police cop or thing, you know. Probably some of you older fellas know what I'm talking about. I played it, by the way. But it's...
Max Payne.
The thing is, yes, for the time it looks 13 years old, 13 years ago. It actually does look graphically nice for the video itself. The gameplay, I immediately fucking hate, because for me, Duke Nukem is a first-person shooter. I know Duke Nukem 1, 2 was originally a platformer. There was the new Duke Nukem, surprisingly decent game, Manhattan Project, which I recommend playing through. It is really decent for a platformer, and it has a decent gameplay too.
How? How did that little maneuver work? How did he go through? What controls are being used?
On-rail shooters, mate. On-rail shooters, you can make whatever you want.
But it doesn't make sense. How is that multiplayer supposed to work either?
Again,
whatever.
it's a mock-up that they wanted, you know, to put on. So, first of all, I immediately absolutely hate it, because I feel that you know, looked like an idea for a Duke Nukem game. First of all, it's a third person. I fucking hate that for a game that primarily,
third person.
You know, that came from a first person. So just no, fuck that. I really do hate it. On rail, it really felt like an on rails, and third person on rails. Jeez, I have not seen a third person on rails. However, if it would be, let's say, non on rail thing, how the fuck would it work? All right, again, there's a quote from the team that made the mock-up trailer there, and I'll, you know, if you want to know more about it, I'll link to it so that the source of this thing and so on and so forth gets their views and so on and so forth. But it's questionable.
Third person. I can't unhear it now.
Let's see.
All right. What else?
Right, I think that's about it on the thing.
Oh, I got one.
Hey?
Okay. So picture in your head Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay.
Oh God, which Sonic?
I don't know. Whatever one you like. Whatever one is your personal.
Okay, the last one then will be the movie version of Sonic. Let's go.
Okay, fine. So you can hear Sonic. You can hear Ben Schwartz, I believe.
I can hear Latvian dubbed version of it, because fuck me,
no.
that's the only version we got.
Oh, no.
The funny story, again, a quick story. I was actually invited for a little PR meet and greet, if you will, from Latvian Sony PlayStation representative, just to hang out and watch the movie with other media members. And it was nice, and overall, I do really appreciate the Latvian branch of it and so on and so forth. But the movie was, as everything else goes here in Latvia when it comes to cartoons and dubbing, no. God, no. Please. No, it's not good. Oh.
I need you to send me a clip of Latvian dubbed Sonic. I need to hear what this sounds like.
For you, it's really not going to be anything too special. You have to know the language, sort of, and also the way intonations work, right? So that's where you can actually tell the difference, just like in English, right? But
All right. Anyway,
imagine literally Chinese animation being dubbed in English, but semi-poorly. We get a couple of actually, yeah, a couple of decent movies from time to time from that from their animation studios that get dubbed and so on and so forth. Some are decent, others clearly are just.
I did have a
dubbed.
point here.
Yes, carry on.
Okay, so now you're picturing Sonic, and you got the
Yes.
voice, the proper voice. Okay. When you picture Knuckles coming up next to Sonic and talking to him, what does that voice sound like? Does it sound like Idris Elba?
It's well, all I know of Knuckles is apparently that he's the what was the one stupid game that dubbed each character? The Muscle. There we go. Yes. So
Yeah.
A
Does it sound
grunty
like Idris Elba? No? That's too fucking bad because that's who's going to be the voice of Knuckles in the
Yeah.
sequel. It's Idris Elba.
I mean,
why?
Again, you can make it work. You can make it work if you have a good director and voice director, a coach. I mean, not couch, but yeah, both actually. But there you go.
I don't personally picture Idris Elba being the voice of Knuckles, but I am willing to be pleasantly surprised. I mean, I'm in my 30s, and I really shouldn't give a damn too much about a kids movie, and I kind of don't. But
hey, it
at
was
the same
actually
time,
decent, right?
you know.
It wasn't anything spectacular, but it was decent, and that's
I
the biggest
dislike Jim
praise
Carrey.
Sonic has gotten in the last decade, basically.
I dislike Jim Carrey as Robotnik. I thought that was terrible. I thought it was fucking terrible. How do you make Robotnik into this skinny Ace Ventura nerd?
Unfortunately,
The fuck's wrong with you?
the visuals didn't quite work. However, Jim Carrey is absolutely the perfect character actor, I guess you can say, for that particular character. To at least make it properly
Is he though? He was playing evil Ace Ventura. That's exactly what that was. Evil Ace Ventura, and not my cuppa. So.
Not exactly that. It was toned down, even that. But it needed to be. It needed to be. However, imagine, right? Instead of Jim Carrey's portrayal of Robotnik there, what other type of a character? Not an actor, right? But what type of character or what mannerisms would that character have in the world where a motherfucking Sonic exists? Okay.
I don't know. I kind of like Wilford Brimley as Robotnik. I saw that in the chat. That's at least he's got the look now.
Brimley?
What is this dude? This asshole in the chat, Sebastian. I'm not gonna say whatever the fuck you want. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay. In any case, I don't know. There are actors that could potentially portray, but the problem is, generally speaking, that Robotnik doesn't really have a character now, does he? So
Sure he does. He's maniacal, megalomaniacal. I mean, the best evil Robotnik I ever saw was that other animated one where he's in the forest and he's voiced by Urkel and he has all the animal friends and the freedom fighter resistance ones. That was the best evil Robotnik I've ever seen.
Well, I'm not that deep into Sonic's lore. Jesus fucking Christ, help me. But yeah, no.
I mean, I watched it when I was growing up. So.
Yeah, so I remember watching a couple of cartoons though, but oh well, fuck it. In any case, right? So yeah, after that, I'm still thinking about the fucking Duke Nukem. God damn it! It looks just no. Fuck me. Just literally seeing one of my personal favorite characters and kind of games. No game. I mean, Duke 3D really was the only. Well, actually, Manhattan was the second good game, but really one of my sort of inspirational franchises getting properly pummeled. And I mean, Forever kind of did it, but it wasn't that bad. Surprisingly, I would say that the prequel was worse. But anyways, that's just my anyways. All right, what else we got?
I think that's it. I mean, I could go on the rant about. You know what? I'm gonna do the last thing. All
right.
I've been playing a lot of Star Citizen lately because I'm making a video in there. Just one, but I'm making one. And I heard in my head as I was taking one of these shots, you know, the highway to the danger zone, you know, Kenny Loggins. And I'm listening to it and I'm like, this looks really good. It looks like a freaking shot from a Top Gun movie, which of course inspired me to go watch Top Gun again.
Mm-hmm.
And that might have been a mistake. That movie's not good. That's like a staple movie of my freaking childhood there, and my entire family loves Top Gun, and it is not a good movie, and it is a lot more gay than I remember. Like a lot more.
I mean, 80s, kind of.
Yeah, no,
Bromances happened in the 80s, especially. I mean, from the 80s comes kind of the synth wave, right? And you know, there's the whole big ass parody of, oh gods, what was that? Kung Fury, right? So.
Okay, well, hold on. There's literally a scene where Tom Cruise is driving along with the love interest, the girl, okay, and she says, "I'm here for you. Whatever you need," and he goes, "You're not him. I would do anything to have him right now."
All I can say is it was cocaine-filled decade.
I mean,
many things made sense back then.
The way it jumps around, you know, it cuts from just major scene to major scene to major scene. There's no. Well, there's no filler.
Isn't that what the popcorn movie kind of is all about?
Yeah,
especially back in those days when literally whatever was on was on. So as long as you kept the attention of the audience through, you know, a major scene, it was good.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yes, you are absolutely right. And Jerry Bruckheimer is very much the king of that, of going from major scene to major scene without filler, and it's not too terrible on first watch, and anything else you're going to notice it. But yeah, I get it. I totally get it that he made a military propaganda film that was very successful because it had lots of flashing, you know, shots and images and everything like that. And but it's a bad movie, and I'm talking to my friends and family about this. I'm like, Top Gun's a bad movie. And they go, no, it's not. Top Gun is a great movie. You're just jaded and being a contrarian. I'm like, I'll tell you what. If you can tell me Maverick's name, then I will take back everything I've said. If a hallmark of a good story is if, you know, you can remember the main character's name. It's like day one, base level. I guarantee you there's nobody in here in this chat that can tell me Maverick's name.
Everyone's quickly Googling the damn thing.
Without Googling it. Yes, exactly. Without Googling it.
Oh, God.
There's not a single person out there who knows his name.
On the other hand, I was talking with Pilot, and, you know, my thing is, you don't need to know. You don't need to know the character name. Right?
You made an interesting point.
Yeah,
go ahead. Go ahead. Tell him what you told me. Tell him what you told me.
Hey, what?
You know, the movie. Tell him what you told me. With the movie you brought up as an example.
Yes, right. So my example was that you don't need to know the character's name to enjoy the story or the message and remember the character for, you know, what the character was without anyone mentioning the name, about the character, you know, what the character's name is, and so on and so forth, in every instance that they possibly can, even referring to the character. And that was Kill Bill. You know, the bride being the character. Yes. That no one refers to the bride as the bride or anyone else. It just usually things happen, right? There's the reference when talking at the character or with the character. Yes, then there's, you know, you and a kiddo and so on and so forth. But that's as far as it goes, and that's only when it's talking.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a valid point, but that. There is a point to knowing her name, though, in the movie, because Bill himself actually keeps calling her kiddo. Like, come on, kiddo. You know, you got this, kiddo.
I think it's only mentioned once. Then, yeah.
No. He does it like 6 or 7 times throughout both movies. If you're talking Kill Bill 1 or 2, at
Weird.
one
I
and two.
remember only maybe once. That was
No,
at
no,
the
no. He
start.
calls her.
Huh.
He does keep calling her kiddo.
Well,
And the joke
that's
is
not
when you
real.
finally.
Again, it's something to, instead of saying "Hey you," sort of a thing.
Okay, no.
You
Hold
need
on.
some sort of
But
reference
it's not
to
a hey
character.
you. It's not a hey you because you find out her name is Beatrix Kiddo. He's literally calling her by her last name. So you get this idea that he's kind of mentor. Hold on. You get this idea that he's kind of mentoring her. He's like, hey kiddo, he's got a familial relationship with her, but he doesn't. Once you figure out her name, you look back on all those points. He's literally just calling her last name. It's more of a removed role than what was assigned in her memories and what we see.
Well,
It is a tactic.
It
I'm
is.
just saying.
It is specifically like saying, your name is John Human, and then the character is sent to the alien world, and everyone's referring to him as Human. Right?
I mean, if you could pull that off in a movie, that would be great. No, you'd have to do it right. You have to do it well.
There was some sort of either parody, well, most likely a parody or a satire sort of a movie like that. But yeah, regardless, that's the sort of a point. You specifically create a character last name that is more of a generic last name, which wouldn't feel out of the ordinary, but well, would serve somewhat of a greater purpose, I suppose, if you know, or rather after knowing what it refers to, or what. Anyways, fuck it.
Right. By the way, hold on. Waximus in the chat, you are absolutely right. His name was Pete Mitchell, but there's nobody else who agreed or corrected
probably
or said,
nobody
yeah,
cared.
you're absolutely right. Nobody gives a shit. Exactly.
That's
Nobody,
kind of my point.
and
You
it's
don't
worse.
need to know the character's name or full name.
That's actually
or what
my
it does.
point. No, that's my point. Is that his name is Pete Mitchell, and nobody's going, yes, that was it. I knew it.
All right,
You're
all
not
right.
entirely.
Here's another
Nobody else is
character
entirely
then.
sure that's
Well,
the right answer.
Blade, okay? My favorite Marvel first comic book hero movie, Blade, okay? Just absolutely wonderful movie, in my opinion, as an action movie goes. Do you know Blade's, name within the movie?
Yes.
Do tell.
It's Eric Brooks.
There we go. Right. You know it. I don't.
Yes.
And my point is, I can enjoy the fucking character without the needing to know what the fucking character's name is. Okay?
Fine. Fair.
That's
Whatever.
the point. Yeah, you enjoy knowing that bit of knowledge that, frankly speaking, means very little. But I can enjoy, the whole thing regardless and remember what happened in it. So, doesn't make the movie bad and everything like that.
Fine.
It's a bad litmus test to just take a look at, do you know the character's name? If you don't, well, the movie is boring and didn't keep up your attention. Sorry, no.
Really? What's the main character of Aliens? Who is she? What's her name?
Alan Ripley.
Yeah.
Ripley. There we go.
Hey, who's the main character of the Harry Potter franchise?
Ron something. Weasel. There we go. No. What was the...
Exactly. That's the point I'm making, man, is that, main characters, good stories survive outside the movie. You talk about them afterwards. You keep going. That's how they get good and notorious and break into social canon. That's the point. Whatever.
Okay,
fine.
Okay. All right.
I'm wrong.
Anyways, before I end the stream, there was actually a question about Back 4 Blood. I did actually talk about the whole Back 4 Blood beta being open for everyone to try out on the Steam. I think it is currently still, so you can go and check out. Generally speaking, the Left 4 Dead, basically the developers making their own game now. And I did say that basically it is Left 4 Dead. It really is literally Left 4 Dead, but with looter-shooter mechanics. And on one hand, it makes for a bit more interesting environment, sort of looting and running through and searching things. However, the looter-shooter aspect kind of comes in play more, and then, well, sort of overshadows the zombie shooting and survival aspect of the game. Now you're just literally going through environments, looking for loot, and just having zombies there as an annoyance, a non-existent sort of or barely existent annoyance, rather than an actual threat or interest point. You're just running from point to point to look for more guns and better versions of it, rather than focusing on, destroying the dead. Sorry. And that's kind of the issue, right? Left 4 Dead was a sort of a wonderful sort of a balance between finding a good gun enough, ammo, and surviving the ongoing hordes of the undead. Now it's just, oh no, more zombies come, pew pew pew, done. Let's move on and search for more yellow gear. That's kind of the issue. However, still, both, all the games, Left 4 Dead and Back 4 Blood, are still enjoyable, and the Back 4 Blood has unique, it's basically a newer game, thus it also has newer performance-wise things in it. It essentially is far too, I suppose, serious for the setting that it is in. It's trying to be again more comedic like Left 4 Dead, but it fails because of that particular setting of more realism, more lifelike. So, in one sense, yeah, playable, enjoyable, blah blah blah. But after playing Left 4 Dead, it's not really that comparable or interesting. Even though in Left 4 Dead you have less loot and things to search in the maps. Oh well, that's my sort of a quick assessment of it. Anyways, I suppose that's about it for this week. I did say already big thanks to Skidder for subscribing there on the Twitch side. Really appreciate your contribution there and supporting the channel and all that stuff. So guys, as usual, subscribe on YouTube, follow on the Twitch, join the Discords, and yeah, check out Patreon if you want to support that side. That's about it for me today, and I'll see you next week.
We're pretty. Give us money.
Yeah, that was Pilot. Yes.